beautiful people. We are back once again. The Live Light, episode 4 with... I'm excited for this one, actually. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Thee Domo. Hi.
Thee Domo?
Yes.
Thee Domo, explain, where'd that come from? What is that, how'd we come up with that name?
My name is Dominique. There's a lot of people I know named Dominique, and I always had to distinguish myself and be like, I'm the Domo, like I'm her. So then it just like stuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
That's
the,
it.
like
I'm
the one and
I'm
only,
it.
basically. Like
Yeah.
there's nobody
She's
else.
that person. Yeah.
There's no other Damo. I get it. And Damo, where are you from? Tell the people where you're from, if anything.
I am from Camden, New Jersey. All day stand up, East Coast.
See how her like accent just like switched up? Like everybody always like, okay, Jersey in the building. Okay, how was that like growing up in Jersey? And now with you being in Arizona, like flip flop.
Yeah, like it's like everything's real spaced out over here. It's very like big. In Jersey, it's like mini New York basically. Everything's like real congested. Mad people's mad corner stores, mad culture. Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to Jersey, but that's one reason it's on my list, because that's what I hear about it, So yeah, it's cool. Another person from Jersey, I get to.
Yeah.
No, I think you're
Usually the only one.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what is it that you do, Damo?
I do everything. I dibble and dabble in everything. I'm just all over creative in every aspect of life. I paint, sing, did a little acting, did a little modeling for a little bit, podcaster, educator. I used to be a professional athlete. Just
Professional
everything.
athlete?
Yes.
Oh, well, let me hear a little bit of something. I know a couple. What is it that you do though?
Track.
Track. And what's your thing?
My event was the 1, the 2, the 4, 4x1, 4x2.
God dang, was it octathlon?
No.
Decathlon?
I was just a sprinter.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What high school did you? Wait, you went to high school in Jersey or out here?
Jersey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What high school? Go ahead.
Went to Immaculate Conception, Montclair, New Jersey. Went to Catholic school. I was one of those girls.
Would you say that high school like had a big impact with taking you to like where you were athletically?
Not per se high school. It was getting out of the environment that I was living in. Track just ended up being like a little, stepping stone to get there, to leave Jersey, which was my like main goal, to leave and never go back. And I did.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean, getting out, experiencing new things, all the way from Jersey to Arizona, what kind of made you, was that the move that you had to make to Arizona to get out of your environment, or?
At first I went to Florida. That's why I went to the University of Central Florida. I got kicked off the team because broke some rules. Transferred to another school, University of Kentucky, Wildcats. And after graduating, I didn't want to get a regular job. So in order to run pro, the best move was to come to where it's hot year round. So came out here, been out here ever since, 4 years strong.
That's what's up. Well, I mean, they say that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You a strong believer of that?
Yeah, no regrets. This has been like one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And a lot of dope people out here, dope things, and it got me back into, my creative side now that I'm retired. So
that's what's up. And you say you have a podcast.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
My podcast is called Mind Your Business. It's bringing mental health and awareness to the Black community because we don't know much about it, and it's coming from the perspective of somebody who deals with a mental disorder. I have bipolar disorder 1, so it's just me talking about different aspects of mental disorders, mental illness, from every type of spectrum, and like how I go through a day-to-day life.
Wow, I commend you.
Thank
That's
you.
a very brave thing to do, like in a creative way. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot for someone to step out and speak their truth, if anything, in a world and in a community that we both are in, where that's something that's not that people don't talk about. It's something that's kind of swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate the role that you're taking on in society. What other things would you? I guess what impact are you wanting to leave here?
I am wanting to just leave like a legacy of myself. Like, I've always been a person that goes out of my way to do for everybody else, and I have a huge heart. I want to like walk away from this world, walk away from this state, walk away from anything, and just know that I made a presence, or that I've changed somebody's life. Whether it's I'm getting up and I'm singing a song that just touched somebody, or I paint something that moves somebody into another career, or if I can just like speak to somebody from not taking their own life that day. That's when I just want to leave on this earth, to know that I made a difference somewhere, somehow. That's really what gives me the most joy out of everything.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's beautiful. And do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 27. I don't
wow,
look it.
Really? Me too.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, reflection.
Yes.
Like, okay, so don't mean to get like too serious, but it's like 27. Like, I know my story. You know what I'm saying? I know where I was at one point to make me want to, boom, like switch the perspective. So do you mind sharing a little bit of that story? Like, what was that moment where you realized, I don't want to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that time for you?
It was out here actually, 2 years ago, when I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my life. I don't too much into detail, but I was kind of like faced with a situation in which I, was coping the wrong way. I was getting a little bit too involved with alcohol, dabbled into some drugs a little bit, just trying to cope with being on my own and trying to grow up and find out who I am, and failed relationships and losing friends. And I had to literally come to terms when I was sitting there in my room, dark, and I was just like contemplating, like, I don't want to be on this planet anymore. And I literally just prayed. It was one of the weirdest things to me. It was dark, I prayed, and it was like something lifted me up and said, you have purpose. Everything that you do, people are looking at you and looking for a role model. And I didn't understand it, but the next day, things rolled around and opportunities came around that kind of gave me that confirmation. And from there, from 2 years ago, I've just been hitting the ground running, making impacts everywhere I go, any way I can, especially with like younger females who can benefit from my story, because it's a rough story, but I mean they can benefit from it. So that was my moment. Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's like beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful to see, like I was saying, a reflection, because life isn't easy. For you to, first of all, come out and admit that, and then for you to still be here. That is like,
every day.
that takes strength. That takes courage. That takes power, if anything. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I just really thank you for making that decision and, choosing to want to try something different, to put effort in something different and listen to the call. Because, there is a generation of people, an army of people, a community, a collective of people waiting for you to continue to strive. And if anything, position yourself to be in front of them to continue to make the impact and change that you want to out here. Yeah, that's really what's up. Like, man, when I ask people to interview, it's just whatever. Let's do it. I love your voice. You know what I'm saying? I seen you perform before. I'm like, oh, I want to, but when I actually get into details with people, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
It's a story behind her voice.
Like, it's like, I guess when we were sitting here, I'm like, you're the celebrity to me, you know what I'm saying? And then for you to share that story, it's like, I'm really excited to see where you go with everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's been really, really beautiful. I'm feeling
yeah.
great. What is one last thing? I know you shared a lot. You've dropped a lot of gems. You know what I'm saying? If anything, a lot of inspiration, motivation for, I feel like, a big, you know, number of people out there that's, you know, going through what you were going through. What's one last thing you kind of have to say to someone that was in your position, you know, back then, that made you want to switch things up? What's, if you could say anything to somebody watching right now, what is one thing you want to leave with them?
I would definitely say it gets better. Not in the way that you think, but it works around to get better the way it needs to be and to hold strong. You do not have to fit in whatsoever. It's okay to be that different person, to think different. Like, you think different because you're anointed to do different things.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's...
She's been calling me a weirdo the whole time. Before the...
and
she's
low-key, I'm a weirdo. I know.
She's like, that's different. That's really different. I'm like,
Right.
thank you. Thank you. No, but where can we find you at, Domo?
Oh, you can find me everywhere. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Snapchat. But Instagram is _the THEE Domo. Twitter is the same thing. Snapchat, I mean, you gotta get to know me and get that. Facebook is...
What is it with Snapchat? Women into their Snapchat, they're like, I'm just really weird about my Snapchat. Like,
Snapchat's where I get, like, you know...
I really don't give it, like...
No.
I really don't give it to people I don't know. Like,
No,
okay, I'm not even on Snapchat. I really...
It's, you know, it's a little exclusive.
Okay, it's that. Oh. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Like certain people. Like,
I get it. You gotta be on that VIP. But man, it has been great. Episode 4, the live light, Thee Domo, Cash Creation. Excuse me. You know, yeah, we out, y'all.